If you go and pick up any modern-day single-player story game, they're going to have some of the best and most realistic graphics and cutscenes compared to any game that came before it. Take a look at Horizon Forbidden West and its near photorealistic face models and its absolutely groundbreaking environment, or The Last of Us and its weirdly impressive rope mechanics. But what if I told you that the key to an immersive action story game isn't photorealistic cutscenes, or graphics, or even having cutscenes at all? And that the best first-person shooter story-driven experience you can have is not one that looks like real life, or one where ropes obey the laws of physics, but is actually an 11-year-old spin-off of one of the most successful game franchises of all time, called Portal 2. For a lot of people who might be unfamiliar with the game franchise or developer Valve's history, when you play Portal 2 for the first time, most people are a bit taken aback by the game's narrative as a whole. Because at its core, it's a puzzle game, and if you were looking for a puzzle game to play back in 2011, these were your options. So picking up a puzzle game and getting an experience like this was a really pleasant surprise, because not only was it something that had never been done before, but they pulled it off really well. Portal 2 has this certain charm to it through the dialogue of the characters and the flow of the game, thanks to the lack of cutscenes, that feels really unique and one of a kind compared to other games.
Hey, it's me! I'm okay!
Well, I'm back. The aerial faceplate in here is sending a distress signal. You broke it, didn't you? There, try it now.
Believe what happened, right? I was just lying there. You thought I was done.
This plate must not be calibrated to someone of your generousness. I'll add a few zeros to the maximum weight. You look great, by the way. Very healthy.
And the environmental storytelling in both the first and second game is amazing. It portrays this perfect kind of creepy, the one that really causes a discomfort and puts you on edge, but does so not through any character dialogue or jump scares, but through the scribbles of a mentally ill man in secret openings in the walls. All the themes of loneliness and despair in the gameplay directly contradicts the game's narrative theme, which is actually written as a comedy.
What's going on? Who turned off the lights?
Hey, buddy! I'm speaking in an accent that is beyond her range of hearing. I know I'm early, but we have to go right now. Walk casually toward my position, and we'll go shut her down.
Look, Metal Ball, I can hear you.
Run! I don't need to do the voice. Run!
But how did this perfect blend of horror, smooth, immersive gameplay, and fantastic writing come to be? To answer that question, we have to go all the way back to 1998.
Good morning, and welcome to the Black Mesa Transit System.
The original Half-Life, the game that has spawned several sequels, spin-offs, and remakes, was revolutionary for its time for the exact same reason as Portal, its lack of cutscenes. Instead of using cutscenes, which at this point in time almost everybody was doing because it was this new novel concept that was on a crazy rise in popularity, they use something called scripted events, as they put it, which when you boil it down to the fundamentals is conceptually the same as a cutscene, being that once you reach a certain area in the level, a trigger is activated causing a narrative-related event to occur. But the one big difference is in scripted events, these story points are played out in real time in the game engine instead of cutting off the game and playing a short video clip. There are of course pros and cons to both cutscenes and scripted events. For example, with a cutscene, you can use professional filmmaking and cinematography methods to create exactly the kind of theme and tone you want for your story. Now this is great and all if you're going for a cinematic experience, but for immersion, cutscenes by their very nature screw everything over completely. For instance, the cinematic techniques I mentioned earlier being a good thing are actually their downfall for immersion because of something everyone is familiar with, which is this brutal transition between cutscene and gameplay.
Give their capital ships a straight shot at Earth. Master Chief, defend this station.
Yes, sir. I need a weapon.
Right this way.
The difference between beautiful camera work and visuals to the gameplay graphics is just so awkward and rough, especially because the frame rate in most of these pre-recorded cutscenes is the film industry's standard of 24, but obviously your game is going to look different because it will be rendering in much higher rates. There is a middle ground, however, where you take the good of cutscenes like the camera work and dialogue and animation and just render it in the game like how a scripted event would work, but even still, you're missing the key element for immersion, which is to never take the player out of control of the character.
There's no future for them. Why can you not see that? It's time for something new. You and me. We could build something different. Something better.
No.
And Dathomir will be your grave.
Now when you take these two transitions from cutscene to gameplay side by side, the Fallen Order one is smoother because of it being rendered in the game engine, but Malicos still goes from a battle-hardened badass to looking like a hobo in about 2 seconds. But when you take the scripted event approach of storytelling, the feel and flow of the game stays consistent no matter what.
Now, escape pod. It's moving up. Okay, no, don't worry, I've got it. This should slow it down. No, makes it go faster. Uh-oh.
Power up initiated.
Okay, don't panic. All right, stop panicking. I can still stop this. Oh, there's a password. Okay, it's fine. I'll just hack it. It's not a problem. C. Wait, did I do B? Start writing these down.
Power up complete.
Okay, listen. All right, new plan. Act natural. I've done nothing wrong. Hello!
Oh, it's you.
You know her?
It's been a long time. How have you been? I've been really busy being dead. You know, after you murdered me.
You did what? Oh no! Oh no! Ah!
Okay, look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret. But I think we can put our differences behind us. For silence, you monster. I will say, though, that since you went to all the trouble of waking me up, you must really, really love to test. I love it too. There's just one small thing we need to take care of first.
For all intents and purposes, this is a cutscene. There are specific animations where you're picked up and chucked down a tube, which progresses the story, and yet this feels a lot more real than this, because of the simple fact that you never leave the eyes of your character, and while it is very little control, you're still somewhat in control over where you look and the limited area you can move around. But what separates Portal 2 from its predecessor, Half-Life, is the quality of the game itself. That's not to say that Half-Life is a bad game, because it certainly is not. But no matter how good a studio is today, they will always have been beginners at some point, and that does shine through in Half-Life, especially since it's so old that it was made back when the industry itself was developing. Unlike a lot of game sequels, Half-Life 2 actually did what a sequel was supposed to do, and improved and refreshed the game with a new breath of life, but there were still some moments of agony with the character dialogue and such.
Don't forget to reload, Dr. Freeman.
Shut the fuck. But over a decade of game development, Valve has refined this process down to perfection, all the way from this to this.
Honestly, truly didn't think you'd fall for that. In fact, I devised a much more elaborate trap further ahead for when you got through this easy one. If I'd known you let yourself get captured this easily, I would have just dangled a turkey leg on a rope from the ceiling. Well, it was nice catching up. Let's get to business. I hope you brought something stronger than a portal gun this time. Otherwise, I'm afraid you're about to become the immediate past president of the Being Alive Club. Seriously, though, goodbye.
It's my big chance. This is trouble.
Not again. Here comes that. Locked and loaded. Ah, the same.
Oh, you were busy back there. Well, I suppose we could just sit in this room and glare at each other until somebody drops dead. But I have a better idea. It's your old friend, deadly neurotoxin. If I were you, I'd take a deep breath and hold it.
Hello.
I hate you so much.
Not to mention that Portal 2 just has a really strong story in general. Portal 1 not so much, because the original Portal was more of an experiment from a completely new team of college students that Valve CEO Gabe Newell had hired after seeing their demo for a game they made called Narbacular Drop, which was a school project cobbled together over a short period of time that featured all the core features of what would become Portal, for instance, portals, buttons, and obstacle-related puzzle solving. Another reason for Portal 1's test project feeling is that the game reused most of its assets from the Half-Life games in order to save time, but instead of hoping people wouldn't notice, Valve did something that was a really unique thing at the time, which is they established that Portal was in the same canon universe as Half-Life, and this is hinted at in-game via dialogue, which goes to show that they actually do care about continuity, even though it was totally just an excuse to be lazy.
Are you trying to escape? Things have changed since the last time you left the building. What's going on out there will make you wish you were back in here. I have an infinite capacity for knowledge, and even I'm not sure what's going on outside. All I know is I'm the only thing standing between us and them.
Wait a moment. There's something else here. It's the Borealis.
Good God.
Incredible.
What? The Borealis? It's real?
Oh yes, quite real, despite its almost legendary stature. Our peers at Aperture Science were at work on a project of some promise, but in their rush to beat Black Mesa for funding, they must have compromised ordinary standards of risk. We heard their research vessel had simply disappeared, vanished, with all hands, and even part of the dry dock. Few believed the Borealis would ever be seen again.
But again, just like Half-Life, they managed to make a sequel that took the original and improved it in every way. Portal 2 has a much better narrative, gameplay, and overall quality compared to its predecessor, not to mention one of the coolest endings to a video game ever. For a bit of context, around 30 minutes earlier, through the character dialogue, it was revealed to the player that portal surfaces are made of moon rocks.
There's still a few things left to wrap up, though. The bean counters told me we literally could not afford to buy $7 worth of moon rocks, much less 70 million. Bought them anyway, ground them up, mixed them into a gel. And guess what? Ground up moon rocks are pure poison. I am deathly ill. Still, it turns out they're a great portal conductor. So now, we're going to see if jumping in and out of these new portals can somehow leach the lunar poison out of a man's bloodstream. When life gives you lemons, make lemonade.
No! Do not do it! I forbid you to press it!
Press it! Press the button!
Don't press that button!
Press it!
Don't press it! R5! Booby trap the stalemate button! What? Are you still alive? You are joking! You have got to be kidding me! Well, I'm still in control, and I have no idea how to fix this place. Oh, you had to play bloody cat and mouse, didn't you? While people were trying to work. Yeah, well now we're all gonna pay the price, because we're all gonna bloody die. Space! Let go! We're in space! Let go! Let go! I'm still connected! I can pull myself in! I can still fix this!
I already fixed it. And you are not coming back.
Oh no! Change your plans! Hold on to me! Tighter! Grab me! Grab me! Grab me! Grab me!
But at the end of the day, cutscenes aren't going anywhere, and they shouldn't, because cutscenes are cool. They're like mini movies inside of your games. But one thing that everyone should take away from this is that having no cutscenes is just as good as having cutscenes, and you should play Portal 2.